Hello and welcome back to Robert's Rebellion. I would like to start today by talking about how we're going to be playing the series, because some people have been discussing it in the comments and I thought I described it, but we'll describe it again. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be staying close to what I would call the main path of the story, right? So we have Robert, he takes the throne, he marries Cersei, he has children with Cersei, he maybe doesn't know about them, although we'll go with whatever the events say on that one, and we're going to try and just stay close to the path, and occasionally divert off, right? Like we gave Stannis the Stormlands, that's the diversion. We've given Barristan the second title in Dragonstone, that's diverting off the path, but we're mostly staying along the rough lines that are being given. And the reason we're doing that is I don't feel like the mod has a lot outside of the main story path that's been given. And if we have any chance of there being anything else to see, well, it seems like following that's going to give us the best option. I'm also trying to open up opportunities for a little bit of conflict in the realm, just to see what happens, right? Like, ideally, I want a mega war with factions on both sides to trigger, because I want to see what that's like from the other side, right? That sort of stuff is going to be really interesting. But anyway, that's roughly how we're playing the series. Now, talking about how we're playing the series, and talking about Barristan, there's something very interesting that I've noticed, right? Because people were pointing out that yes, you could have a look at the council tab that we've now got for the our Kingsguard, and we could then see who's on it and manage it from there. And I was looking at Barristan, and I was like, oh, wait a second. He's not actually on our Kingsguard. He's just wearing the outfit. So actually, Barristan is currently retired from the Kingsguard. We've just not got a new Lord Commander, as far as I'm aware. Let me see what happens if I click it. Yeah, so we have no Lord Commander of the Kingsguard currently. Now, will that fix itself as I unpause? I have no idea, but that's definitely an interesting thing. So he has effectively left the Kingsguard and gone off to this land. So we'll see how this goes. Let's see what happens if I unpause. Nothing. Okay. So, is there like put people in your Kingsguard? No. So there's no way to put someone into your Kingsguard, at least from here that I can see. There's nothing in our Kingsguard options here. What if I did this? Appoint a Lord Commander via a different button? No? Okay, so we just have no Lord Commander. Huh. Okay. Well, that's not ideal. Is there anything else that we could do or choose that would allow us to have one? I don't think so. Yeah, what about if I right click on a member of our Kingsguard? Maybe we've got an option. Ah, there you go. So now we can appoint them as our Lord Commander from there. Okay, so that's how you do that, apparently, although I would have expected it to pick from the previous list down here. But okay, so if I pick one, are they going to be promoted and then there's going to be an opening in our Kingsguard? That would be my guess. I don't know. Who are we going to make the leader of our Kingsguard? You know what? Just because we're going for a little bit of chaos and we are married to Cersei, why don't we make Jaime Lannister our Lord Commander? Sure. So he's now Lord Commander of the Kingsguard. Okay, that's fine. So now, still can't appoint a new Kingsguard. Can I do anything in here to appoint a new Kingsguard? No. Okay, let's see if an event fires. Court Grandeur went down to level 9. Alright. The Blood Red Kraken. While studying the histories of Westeros, I came across a name still cursed by the people of the Westlands. Dalton the Red Kraken Greyjoy thrived in the chaos of the dance. His support of the Blacks allowed him to raid the Westerlands in Rhaenyra's name. Okay, so we can become a forder. We can say he took both Case and Fair Castle and become a military engineer. The wealthy must have become a reaver. Or a monster in history that none shall idolize. Well, we can't really raid. We do take hostile county attrition, so maybe that would be something. Military engineer or to attack from the sea. I guess we'll take to attack from the sea. Yeah, we'll give ourselves that one so we can attack over rivers. Not that that's a huge problem for us, but sure. Someone else? You think Cersei's cheating on us? Do you have another? How could you say such a thing, Robert? I would never take a lover. She's denied it. Well, we'll just have to take her word at it. Nothing we can do. Lord Malcolm, why don't you come on in? Give us some court grandeur. Appreciate that, Malcolm. And now, yeah, there's still nothing going on. So, is our Kingsguard... Oh, did that just say there's an event? There is. Okay. A knight's declaration. I'm not going to read poetry, but my knight, Lewin, is proclaiming something to my wife, Cersei. To the dungeon with you, I suspect will be our answer here. Right. And then, oh, I don't know. What can we do here? So I know that in CK2, you could do things like have a trial. It does not seem like that's something we can have here. We could just execute him. That would be a severe act of tyranny and would make Thorne unhappy. Let's let this play out a little bit. Let's see what happens. I'm going to see whether there's an event like, you know, I've been in prison, I want to, you know, trial by combat. We'll see. Lord Lucerys. I'd be humbled if you funded a... No. That was easy enough. Right, carrying on. Yes, nothing here. We need to designate a guardian for my daughter. My daughter is doing a martial education. You know what? That's absolutely fine. She can be educated by... Ooh, fire obsessed. Pierce is interesting. We want to look for somebody who's a genius or similar, and then has like good traits afterwards. Do we have any geniuses? Let's see. There are no geniuses in the realm. Wait, there were only 10 characters I can have be her guardian? Oh, okay. So I actually think I need to look at this from a different point of view. I need to look at it from this point of view. Try and fix that a little bit there. Looking for a genius. There we go. So let's look for a genius with high... yeah, genius with high martial. Then, like, maybe actually we'll go even further. I'm going to say I want them to be from... I want them to not be lowborn. There we go. So we could send her off to Oline Barlow, who has no family. How about Tyrion? There we go. Oh, he's married to Jocelyn Swift. Okay. Tyrion, why don't you educate my daughter, Kasana? There we go. Perfect. She's gonna stay at Lord Tywin's court. Have you got an educator? You do. It's Cersei, of course. That's fine. We're happy to accept your proposed education arrangement. A noble upbringing for a noble spirit. Yes, I'm sure this will go well. Secret exposed. My master of coin, Lord Paramount Tywin, has accused my vassal, Lord Byron, of having an affair with his lover, Melara. I do not see what the fuss is about. It's not as if lust is an unnatural affliction. We're going to say we don't care, I think, essentially, because, you know, I don't think that we would necessarily care. That's fine. Okay, what do you want? You want me to pay for a sept? Well, I suppose you did support us in that war. I can support you. Yes. I will, yes. I will pay for it. See you later. You would like me to come to your feast? Sure, why not? We'll see whether there's something we can do at the feast. The feast is dwindling down and I find myself deep in conversation with my principal brother, Lord Paramount Stannis. He inquires about my opinion on friendship, a subject he is deeply interested in himself. I'm more interested in you? I don't know if we want to try and seduce Stannis. I think that seems like a bad path forward for us. Let's just be friends with our brother. Yeah, that seems like a better path. While I'm talking to people over dinner, Victor leans over. I wish I knew how to sound as clever as you do, King Robert. Victor, you're trying too hard. Mysteries of the Seven-Pointed Star. My ward Luke and his little friend Harold have taken a copy of the 7-pointed star from the study and brought it into the playroom. They spent hours trying to understand what was written on its pages, talking about the 7 who are one, and the many mysteries of the divine. Luke seems to have developed a deep respect for the words of the faith of the 7 faith. So this is our ward. You know what? Maybe we let him take the vows. You know? Maybe this is his path forward. He's not 10. But yeah, well, I'll just mark him there so we remember. Right, we are finished here. We lose some stress. It's good. Right, carrying on. I think we've set some things into motion over the last, little bit in this episode. So, expecting something to pop up soon. You're now 10. I'm now going to ask you to take the vows. I'm going to use my hook to make sure you do accept, and he's going to become a septum. Sure. That's fine. I will answer the call to serve a higher power, and I thank you for setting me on this path of righteousness. Okay, I don't imagine that his father or his grandfather are going to be too happy, but we have sent him on his way. Can we invite this guy back to our court? No, he's just off there. He's still our ward, but he's now just in the ether. That's fine. Well, whatever. Clear that out. An oath fulfilled Lewin. Oh, okay. So he's dead. I was waiting to see if an event popped up. Turned out he just died. Alright, well, that would do it. He has fulfilled his solemn oath and has departed this world under the mantle of his white cloak. Lewin died in captivity. He was a skilled knight who acquitted himself of aplomb in the service of his liege, King Robert, being well regarded for his skill at arms. With his departure to the Seven Heavens, the duty now falls to fill the vacancy among the renowned ranks of the White Cloaks. Praised Knights of the Realm, powerful Lords of the Realm, or more pressing matters. Powerful Lords of the Realm. Okay. Jaime Lannister has brought me these 3. So we have Lynn Corbray, Ebert Whitehill, or Jonas Bracken. Well, I think the best person is going to be the Corbray here. Is he the oldest? No, he's the second son. He might say yes. Okay, I choose Lynn. You must turn down the service within the Kingsguard. My life has far greater ahead of it than standing by your chamber pot while you scutter out your latest suckling goose strips. Okay, well, I will ask for someone else then. Okay. Balin Swan, Benjamin, or Dylan Meadowpike. I think I'm going to go for Balin Swan. Virtuoso performance. My brother Stannis is so talented. The immense tactical acumen contained within his mind would put the finest commanders in the world to shame. With a seemingly innate ability to identify and exploit weaknesses on the battlefield, Stannis is a huge asset to any lord who wishes to expand the realm by force. Perhaps I could ask him to give me some tips and tricks on that area of expertise. So I can ask Stannis to teach me. I think I'm just as good as they are. We do a martial contest. I'll never be at his level. Let's do a martial contest. I won the contest. Of course I did. Yes. Ah, Balin Swan is now a member of our Kingsguard. Wonderful. Oh, and I can tell him to protect somebody. Let's protect Jason. Yes. That is going to be your task. Father's reaction. I must thank you, my implacable king, for bestowing the honor of serving within your Kingsguard onto my son. Okay, cool. And we got a new martial perk, which we're going to take as... Never back down probably would be fine here. Just move along this one, make us better at fighting. Sure, why not? Seems fine. Right, Kingsguard assignment. I already did this. I have already given you an assignment. Okay, Lord Marek. Dismantle faction. I'm beset by Lord Hubbard and his Liberty faction. Okay, please you must put the impudent whelps in their place for the good of the realm. I will not fight your battles for you. You're hereby invited to a grand tourney at Rosby. The lists shall tremble. Are we actually in the tournament this time? When I at last reach the tourney grounds, I spare a moment to take in the sights and sounds. It seems that all and sundry of the realm's nobility has come, their pennants and banners fluttering in the breeze, their shields and heraldry proudly displayed. There is glory to be won here. A blast of a trumpet proclaims the imminent start of the qualification rounds. I spur my mount towards the lists. My courage and training have seen me through the preliminary rounds, and I take my place among the most puissant warriors of the realm. The roar of the crowd thunders in my ears, and I can barely hear the trumpets heralding the start of the final rounds. I will destroy the... I will avoid the distraction of the other contestants. Right. The herald announces the next tilt. King Robert and Master John. Okay, he's going to get destroyed. Will take their places in the list. The roar of the crowds is tinged with excitement, anticipation, and an unmistakable touch of bloodlust. We're in the tourney. We don't need to put money on the line. Joust. Hooves thunder down the list, and I take aim at my opponent, but I am slower on the mark. The weight of a mountain slams into my chest, shattering my vision into 1,000 fragmentary shards. Summoning every ounce of will and training I have at my disposal, I manage to stay on my saddle. I shake the stars with my vision, catch my breath, and wheel my horse around for another tilt. My mount holds steady, my aim is true, and I hammer my opponent with the tip of my lance. The crowd roars and I bathe in a torrent of exultation. My opponent teeters in his saddle, squeezing onto his mount for dear life. Fall, you fool. In a display of determination and prowess, I cannot help but admire my opponent manages to remain a horse. We wheel my mount around and we dig in our spurs for another tilt. My mount holds steady, my aim is true. We have knocked him over again. Okay. No man alive could have withstood my blow, and I glory in the sight of my foe tumbling into the dirt. At this moment I feel half a god. Okay, we will now advance into the next round. I gotta say, this is identical almost. Like, there might be minor differences, but at least in the way it's presented, it's pretty much identical to the Crusader Kings 2 version of this. Gibbering fool. No, it's simply not how you say it. The venerable scholar who invented the word said it was pronounced the way I'm saying it. My friend John and I are having a raging debate which shows no sign of abating. Having passed a nearby gibbet, he had remarked on it. Being fluent in the common tongue language as I am, I gently corrected him on his pronunciation. It begins with a hard sound, not a soft one, obviously, and he had the temerity to disagree, and disagree vociferously, no less. I can't believe that you're still holding this chattering linguistic position, he blurts out, frustrated at my insistence. We'll agree to disagree. It is as I say, that's the end of it, or it's gibbet and I'll prove it. Whoa. Okay, we can become linguistically challenged. You know what? I'm going to prove it. With a 0% chance. I know we lost the debate, but it seems like, you know, if we were going to have the debate, not that I would expect Robert to have the debate in the first place, but I suspect he would argue his point. Right. Quill of Stripe Harbor. You are going to be annihilated. Alright, so we're jousting. The impact is too much. I feel the wind hurtle through the air, only for a second impact to crush the air from my lungs. I have fallen off the horse. Well, execute him or something. Shields have been shaken, lances splintered, and good men unhorsed, all to sift the wheat from the shaft of the assembled warriors. Of all the knights and free riders who enter, only Lord Roger remains unconquered. Lord Roger. The small folk chant his name while the better bred applaud in a more dignified fashion, but all and sundry let out rapturous cheer when he is crowned champion. I gotta say, right, having done that event, I can't help but feel that it didn't feel like I did, like it was just clicking through the events there. There's not a lot of interaction. I think what I want in that event is I want like some way to interact. I would say similar to the duel events that you get in the base game. Like, even if it's just clicking a button and it doesn't really do very much, at least gives you some kind of idea that you've made like some impact on it. Rather than it just being like, hey, I pressed the button. Oh, we lost the dice roll. Don't even know what the roll is in the background. Does it take any stats into account? Does it just randomly pick? Like, is it a 50-50? Who knows? But anyway. Sweet young Lady Paramount Arigel has come to me today with joyous tears in her eyes, telling me that her favourite toy was almost destroyed by Lord Hagen of Drehesek, which is where? Ah, well, up there. Okay. The reaction is a little excessive for amounts to a lump of wood not being smashed by another child, but this is a learning opportunity nonetheless. So even bullies can have their moments, or now I don't need anybody else. So we can make her solitary, or we can make her compassionate. I don't know. Let's say now I don't need anybody else. Sure. Why not? Sounds interesting. I haven't seen solitary before, actually. Yeah, it's got the same one that Shy usually has. Maybe they just renamed Shy. That might be something. I don't know. Anyway. My pockets. King's Landing may be the jewel of the Westerosi crown, but even the most brilliant jewels can carry some flaws. While I don't make a habit of passing through the less reputable parts of the city, today such a journey was unavoidable and I found myself colliding with a small street urchin. My guards are quick to chase the child away and down an alley, but as I wipe the ground from my shirt, I notice my pockets feel a bit lighter. Guards, after him. Oh wow, he just gained a beard. Coming out to play. I'm sure Stannis' relationship with his wife Sarah is a very happy and productive one, but lately he has less and less time to spend with me, a dear friend, as their relationship deepens. Every time I try and get him out for even something as simple as a walk, he is apparently tied down with marital duties. I miss the good old days when we would have ourselves a great night watching the local drunkards fall over and embarrass themselves. What times we had, if only that wretched, loathsome Sarah wasn't keeping us from having that again. Perhaps I can make them see the error of their ways, or I suppose we both moved on. Well, let's do this one. You know what? Let's be argumentative. Neither are happy with you. Well, it's fair. Oster Tully, what would you like me to do? Sponsor priests. Thank you for seeing me, my liege. I've come to you today with an urgent request. The lordship of Heather Sage is beset with the virulent and godless militant worshippers of the Seven. My priests do their best, but I fear they need assistance if the realm is to be free of evil. So I can sponsor proselytizers. Okay. If you remember this day in the help I provided, greater responsibility will offset this aid, or these souls are your subjects, and thus your problem. Sure, we'll help him out. Why not? That's fine, we'll pay him money. I think it does want us to go in here and find the holding. Was it Heather Sage? Something like that? Heather something. Heather Sage. There we go. That one? There we go. And apparently we can convert that from the Warring Star to R1. Using you. There we go. Perfect. It'll only take 10 years of your time. Sure you won't mind. Right. Lord Lewis, you would like me to develop your capital? No. Wandering Hedge Knight. Harold, a Hedge Knight, has arrived at my court. He is requesting permission to rest at my keep for a short while before he resumes his travels. In return, he has offered me his service for the duration of his stay. I mean, that's a bold move, just coming to King's Landing and say, like, yeah, I can help you out. You alright, King? Sure, why not? I came across Harold with a few of my men-at-arms. In their off-time, they'll also been playing dice, something that Harold was seemingly exceptionally skilled at. A few of the men-at-arms, however, later said that his rolls may have been just a bit too good. So this is the type of knight you are. He's greedy, but he might also be other things. Ah, so he's greedy, deceitful, fickle, and gregarious. Well, there you have it. He spent days training in the courtyard, sparring with a few of my household guests. Okay. So, there's a chance he gets one of these ones. Or, it's just, this is us basically finding out about him, I think. Yeah, so now he's a skilled fighter. Stannis and Harold have spent the day in deep conversation with each other, discussing the final points of strategy and analysing historical battles. Again, this is all just finding out about this person. I mean, this is kind of neat, right? There's a chance of getting one of these of things from them. It's giving you events to, like, show the Hedge Knight existing. Okay. The time has come for Harold to return to the hedges from whence he came. Before leaving, he comes before you and offers his sincere thanks for your hospitality, asking if he can be of any service prior to his departure. So I can get him. You joins Harold Gorland's court. Okay, or I simply wished him safe travels. Well, we're going to let him go, but that's it. Yeah. That's an interesting way of doing things. Yeah, quite quick, but, you know, interesting. It's a way of being like, do you want this person to join your court, but adding a little bit of flavor to it. A demonstration of leadership. My brother and friend, Lord Paramount Stannis, has been hovering around my council meetings lately. Knowing his interest in matters of leadership, I cannot help but feel the man is waiting for me to impress him. Let's go greet some recruits, like we did with Tywin. Then we need a guardian for Jason. Well, again, you kind of want to find a genius to educate people. I guess we could send Jason also off to Tyrion. We could send him to Littlefinger. That would be intriguing. Yeah. What was Jason doing? Is he doing a martial education? He's doing an intrigue. Oh, we could make it martial, though. I think we'll make it martial. Yeah. And then we will send him off. You know what? Sure. Let's go for a little bit of chaos. Why don't you go be educated by Littlefinger? I'm sure that won't be any problem whatsoever. Right. There we go. Right. We'll see how that goes. And with that planned move, I think it's time for us to end the episode there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time. Goodbye.